We're rolling. Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is season 2, episode 13.
Congratulations.
Already. Thank you very much. If this is your first time, Bite-Worthy is the show where I take comedians out to their favorite restaurant or restaurant of choice or food of choice, and then we just talk about life and food and comedy. Biting material is not a good thing. It's where you steal jokes. We won't want to do that, but comedians that are worth stealing from, whether it's their style, their jokes, their punchlines, their mannerisms, their cadence, anything like that, are called bite-worthy. So they're worthy enough to steal from, or you want to. This comedian is no exception. Comedian, I should say. Comedian is no exception. Elle O Elle.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, everybody, everything.
Thank you. I got
Everybody.
to make up for this.
You go all rip torn on me. First off, I have to compliment. You look stunning.
Why, thank you.
By the way,
Thank you.
like, you look fabulous, and you're a tall drink of mimosa. I guess I don't know.
6'5" without heels.
God, I am 5'5" with. So, and I have to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again on camera, I really do believe Elle O Elle is the pinnacle of drag queen stand-up comedian names. Like I'm trying to think of a better one. I couldn't.
I mean, I think RuPaul, but only because it's worth like $1 billion. But no, I have to explain it though. Every night I have to explain it to anyone new because they're thinking laugh out loud. They're thinking it's an abbreviation.
No,
and
Elle.
so I have to like find different unique ways to be like, no, Elle, like the magazine.
Yeah.
Or Elle, like a shorter version of Ellen, but taller and nicer. Like, you know, like.
Yes.
So, and then
Yes.
OL, of course, is Irish, right? Like,
Of course,
so, you know,
yeah.
By way
the
of
old
Alabama.
OLs.
Yeah. My actual abbreviation would be EO, which just sounds like you're starting like a farmer, you know, old McDonald like song.
Old LOE. Oh, yeah.
EO.
I can see that. So, given names, drag queens, they come up with amazing names.
Oh, yeah.
So, who do you think has cooler names? Drag queens or roller derby girls?
I feel like they're pulling from the same source material, right? Like,
Close. Yeah,
you know, like
I can see where both they go, because roller derby is all about like how mean and tough and savage you can be, and then like drag queens are also, you can be savage but in a different way type of savage.
Yes, you're
like
trying to go
wit.
fierce, maybe more than like blood chilling. Yeah.
A different kind of slay.
I mean, but we both use the term bone a lot, so like,
true.
Bone crusher versus bone in, like
a drag queen is a bone crusher is very different than a roller derby.
Exactly.
I'd buy tickets to both. I think.
Yeah, no. I think it's fun because, especially if you have a sense of humor about it. Like mine, especially in comedy, if I was to like rename myself, I'd need to find something about being left on red. Because
that's good. That's good.
Lefton or something like that. I don't know. Like I have to play with it. But like anything that you kind of like. So there's a very famous drag queen who also does comedy and music, Trixie Mattel, and Trixie came up with her name because she was called a Trixie by a family member growing up.
Oh, no way.
It was a debilitating term. And then she used it as a way to like, okay, this is my platform now to like show what a Trixie really is. And so, yeah, I didn't have that good of a story. I started, the first time I did drag, I wanted to be Paris Hilton. So,
that joke that you have.
So I named myself London Marriott. Yeah, like London Marriott, right? Like, yeah, like that's like Paris Hilton's best friend, right? Like she was a Hilton, London would be a Marriott, you know, like that just. So I went to Party City and got like a plastic blonde wig. Like this picture is on my Instagram. Yeah. Got like a little dog and like stuff like a Beanie Baby or something.
No way.
And then it wasn't until like, again, 20 years later that I was like, oh, no, it's a Tallahassee Motel 6.
That's so good. Because there's some the bad ones be like Linda Hyatt. Or
exactly. Yeah, Tallahassee Motel 6, I think, is pretty far down there.
Motel 6.
As far down there, you know. They were not inviting me to any soirees. They were not. I was not being asked to fly anywhere.
That's so funny. Because there was a couple. I think there was one that I saw is Ava Destruction.
Oh, Eva Destruction.
Eva Destruction.
Eve of Destruction.
That's such a simple, good play. That's just changing one, and there it's like, oh, this is
she's on TV right now, and like a All Stars of, what was it called? It is called Boulay Brothers Dragula. So they're doing. She had left Atlanta to go to LA to film that. Then settled in Austin, and now is on the show again for like a All-Star season.
Oh God, just props to wordplay. I think
know.
the most unique, the coolest one for roller derby was Hermione Danger. I was like, oh, that's so good. And there's one that's Aphrodite. I'm like, oh my God.
You can go there. Yeah, I won't, but you can go there.
I guess, but that's she named it. But she was rough, and it was fun, and I don't know. It just seems like the same world. So. Speaking of eating out, we just had illegal food.
Yes,
at best.
Good.
This was amazing.
Illegal food at Sister Louisa's Church of the Ping Pong Emporium.
They're only here a few days.
Yeah, Wednesday to Sunday, I think. And
super good.
And I think it's still pop up, so I don't know that it's going to stay forever, but it's worth following.
Come get it while you can.
The buttermilk chicken sandwich.
Amazing.
Is really
amazing.
Really
Have you ever shoplifted food?
Have I shoplifted food? This feels like a yes. It would be a lie if I said no. If for no other reason than grapes. Like, I would bring home those grapes, and they would be bitter, and I would just kick myself for not just being... But I'm still at Aldi, just like looking around like there's someone that's going to yell at me for doing what no less than 100 people have done.
Everybody takes a grape.
Yeah, you have to.
And I used to get mad at people, like, why'd you take that grape? But here's the thing. If I were to buy grapes... They sell them by the pound, so they're making it cheaper for you. You ought to thank them. In fact, it's a service to society by taking a grape.
What I do is just go to the back to like the fullest of the and I like those stupid cotton candy grapes and like candy bar grapes and like stuff like that. Like, it's not regular. Like, if it was just a purple or green shitty grape, I would probably just take it for what it is. It's just, you're just giving it to a kid to feel like you gave them some time.
Leave it to America to be like, let's take our fruit and make it cotton candy.
Yes, exactly.
That's the fattest thing we can do.
Literally, a secret is when I dress as LOL, when I perform as LOL, I was taught, because I've been around drag culture for, I don't know, probably since college. So I went to the University of Georgia. So in Athens, we didn't have Backstreet, we had Bone Shakers. That's how old I am. And speaking of like names, right? And it was like very well known that the drag queens wear a scent. So you had like you could yes, you didn't want to go around smelling like like you just got off the football field. So they would wear a scent. And so mine, when I decided, and this is because when I was in like, I don't know, high school, there was a woman at the store I worked at who always smelled like cotton candy. So, and I was always like, what is that scent? And she's like, I'd never tell you, it's just my scent, da da da. And I've come to find out, I think she bought it from like Justice or one of those like Claire's like kids stores or whatever. But sure enough, I found like a cotton candy like perfume, and that was your like scent. And that is LOL scent. And the last time I was in drag, last Tuesday, someone came up to me and was like, "Do you smell food? Does someone have food?"
Hungry all of a sudden.
Exactly. What like, and I was like, "Does it smell maybe like cotton candy?" And they're like, "I don't know, something sweet." Like, it's me.
I think. God, if I had a scent, I think it'd be olive oil and disappointment. I guess it'd be
something very Italian.
Very Italian, short Italian. No, yeah, that's wild. It's a scent.
Yes.
Man, oh man, that's wild.
So just bring that into comedy. I'm always wondering like what from drag I can bring into comedy and what from comedy
Let me tell you,
I can bring into drag.
I can't pull from that world. So you have a pool only certain people can pull from.
Yep.
And that's great.
Yeah, it's
that's
like a leg up. It really is.
That's rare.
I say that I have been booked at so many different like bars and clubs.
Yeah.
And by different promoters, only ever once each time, right? Like no one's ever brought me back. But like still to get the first time.
Yeah, to get a book is important. To get reoccurring is another. I'm always still work. We always work towards that. You talked about being from Alabama in
Yes.
a joke. So where from Alabama are you from?
So mine is my hometown would be Holly Pond, Alabama.
You're kidding.
No, and anytime like I want to like make it not something that's real, like when I'm saying something like, oh, it's the last stronghold of the KKK, I'll switch it to like, which is not true of Holly Pond. That's actually true of the Coleman County in which Holly Pond sits, but we're not the county seat. So like, yeah, Coleman is actually a German like name, and so the like the city is a German town, Coleman, Alabama.
Wow.
But no surprise, like they just had their first Pride as a like anywhere in that area to my knowledge. It was Coleman County Pride, and it was this summer, and it was visited by...
Did you lead it?
No, I thought about it, and I was like, I really thought about going in drag, and I was like, maybe the first year, like...
Crawl before we walk.
We just see if anybody gets shot, because you know, like, I'm just so horrible to say right now, but like, you know that like, you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
And the KKK had already said that they were coming, the alt-right had already said they're coming.
Wow.
And so it was actually led by someone who calls themselves a wizard, but not like a grand wizard. So like that was slightly confusing for me. And I have lots of family there, and so yeah, that's what I went. I was like, yeah, we have to get a bunch of family there. So I had family that were part of the organizing and whatnot. But yeah, it was just like a picnic. It was not a big deal. Like it was lit, and I think it, to my knowledge and what I've heard, it went off without a hitch.
Just turned out to be barbecue or something.
But then, you know, of course, the next weekend, someone put in a permit for like, you know, Christian Pride or something like that, and I wanted to be like, they're not mutually exclusive. Like there was plenty of Christian people at both.
Let's overcorrect.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
say, hey, I saw you.
Yeah, exactly. That one I'll go for and drag for.
Yeah.
Just have a big cross. Represent Sister Louisa's.
Amen. This is a great place, by the way.
Yeah.
I've only been here like 2 or 3 times, and let me tell you, I don't feel cool enough to be here. Right? Like I have to wear, like I brought my cool custom Converse just to be here.
Oh my gosh, I have to go get mine then. Mine are like 6-inch heels.
Oh my god.
With like stoned, like
that's what you need. You need flat shoes and I need heels.
Yes, and we'll switch them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll trade.
It'll be a switch.
Yeah. I'm sure we have the same shoe size.
You're right. I did think about something. Because I'm a straight guy, but I've been in the gay world and experiencing queer adjacent. Yeah, that's fine. And I was like, I don't know what I'd be classified as, because I wouldn't be a twink. I'm too heavy.
I'm not a twink. I'm not even considered a twink.
How would we have to be small?
Yeah,
like
I thought I'd be a
Twinkie.
Yeah, there you go. Twinkie, I think, is a great one. Yeah,
a little chubby twink.
I always thought it was a twunk, and then someone told me that's a twink hunk, and I was like,
oh, what?
Yeah, like why does size have to have anything to do with it? So it's like an athletic twink. So yeah, I used to say I'm a twonk. Like I used to be a twink at one point in time, just a very tall twink. I was told by a drag queen in Atlanta that she's like, I hate otters, but you're an otter. And I was like, am I hairy enough to be an otter? And she's like, your arms are. And I was like,
oh my God, so mean. God.
I've never grown a chest hair, but sure enough, I'm an otter. I've been deemed by drag queen royalty.
Knighted. So, speaking of drag, I have an awful lot. You spend an awful lot of time and energy focusing on the outside.
Yep.
Let me ask you, apart from like wearing a dress or something like provocative, bikini style or something, what do you wear under for comfort? Do you just like double boxer brief it up?
Do you mean like under my drag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you just be comfy? Like
no, absolutely not. Okay. So there is, so in order to get like more of an hourglass figure, there's basically like shapewear, like Spanx.
Yeah.
That have padding built into them. So it's like drag pods or drag bods or something like that. And I think, the website I think was like Drag Shop or Instagram and Drag Shop. And so I literally pull on a pair of what looks like shaping panties.
Oh my god!
But or like down to here, you can actually see the line because I didn't do the drag queen hack of putting 18 pairs of tights on to like make it look like it was actually my body. But no, so that's padding, which is great. On one hand, you don't have to do as much tucking, but you still, if you don't tuck at all, you're not gonna see the right shape when you're like, I don't know, stretching your legs from one side of the stage to the other. So that's that, and then
and you got long legs, you got spider legs, so
and then same with like like the upper area, like it is a padded bra, and then there is, normally you would do, like people would put like a pantyhose with like either like stuffing or maybe rice or something. I once had someone trying to like teach me how to make it, and they're like, what do you have in the house? And I was like, I have quinoa. So one day I'm going to sweat and just like it's going to smell like a dinner.
That's your
of
new
quinoa.
scent.
Yes, exactly.
That's your new scent.
It's going to be quinoa.
Cotton candy quinoa.
Cotton candy quinoa. Well, that sounds like a great drag name. Actually,
yeah, it's not a bad drag name. Cotton candy quinoa.
Yeah, so yeah,
sweet and good for you.
Yeah, now I'm going to be extremely noticing whether or not I need to adjust.
I'll make you insecure about it. Yeah, I was always wondering what makes a good like fake boob, you know?
That is, a quinoa is actually great.
Quinoa?
But the best is if you can get them like already like a ball of silicone. Because not like the liquid silicone, but like you would like almost made out of something you'd think of like in your kitchen, right? Like the silicone, you know. Those are great because they have some buoyancy. Like they
bounce.
Yeah, they bounce a little bit.
Love
and they've
the bounce.
got a texture. Someone hit up against me and they were like, "Ow, that hurt," and I was like, "Well, that's quinoa."
Yeah.
You know, like that's quinoa. But yeah, that's that. And then just some people do like basically what biological women do with chicken cutlets. They just might layer a few of them together. Again,
that makes
just
sense.
Wanting to get a little comfort in there.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
But comfort and drag really don't go well together.
I mean, most women are uncomfortable.
Yes.
It makes sense that most drag kings would be
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Any drag professional is probably taping something, whether they're a drag king and they're taping the top or a drag queen and they're hiding some candy below.
Top or bottom.
Yeah.
I ordered roast beef at a deli once and she goes top or bottom. I'm like, oh. So it's for funny. So now I'll think of, hey, I'll just eat sandwiches and think of drag queens now. It's association. I had a question. Who's your gay icon Mount Rushmore?
Oh,
I have mine.
For me, I would think I would have to go political, right? Like, because it's Mount Rushmore. And the go-to answer... I didn't even think right? Of that. Like, so I would think like a Harvey Milk or something like that.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen enough from Pete Buttigieg to, you know, throw him on a mountain yet, like as transportation secretary. That seems a little like, oh, he can speak. And so maybe a little premature there. RuPaul, obviously, mainstream drag.
Right.
Which is, you know, cool. Not necessarily somebody without their imperfections either, but I doubt we could say that about anyone on Mount Rushmore. So yeah, I think if I'm going alive today and, you know, in the mainstream, I'd say RuPaul. If I was going just a gay icon, I think it would be like a Harvey Milk.
RuPaul, Harvey Milk, a couple other people in that status.
Yeah,
wow.
I think so.
I went superficial, like just
me.
in the culture. Yeah, LOL, Gaga.
Yeah, exactly.
I put Gaga, Liberace, Elton John, and Freddie Mercury.
You know, I think the thing about Eddie John, Elton John, Eddie John, that's our friend's name. No, I'm kidding. That's no one's name. I think the thing about Elton John and Freddie Mercury would be the uproar of a non-American on there. But
oh my God, you're thinking about this so well.
Lady Gaga is a great one.
Okay, Lady Gaga.
I think so. And what was your second one? I think
Liberace.
Liberace, of course.
I mean, he's
right? Yeah.
the reference. For gay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if you're filming something, you're like, it's Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. If you talk about something gay, it's Liberace.
Yeah. And it's the reference that crosses generations.
Yeah, and like everybody knows it. Like I can say that to Gen Z, and then I can say it to my grandpa, and it's like they both get what I'm trying to say.
Meanwhile, you say Gaga to your grandpa, and he might be like,
what?
A baby sounds?
What are you talking about? Wow, I can't believe you thought. It's so crazy. You thought more about my question that you didn't know that I did.
That is the hard part about having an OCD like spatial brain.
Yeah.
It gets me more in trouble than it helps me.
No, I love it. I love the way your brain thinks. It's good. Thanksgiving just ended, and you make a lovely carrot, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You've seen the video?
I did.
The viral video seen by dozens and dozens of people.
It's cute. What is the worst vegetable, in your opinion? Like, just of all time.
Oh,
get rid of it.
See, I think we're going to agree on this one. For me, and this comes with having close friends from Greece and the Greek Isles, for me it's olives. I hate olives. I had an experience where I did not know I was eating an olive tapenade sandwich, and it made me physically ill. Just because I don't like that fermented flavor. I can eat kimchi, but but barely. And so olives is like that. And then, like, I can eat a blue cheese, but like a Kraft blue cheese. I can't eat like an actual like from Europe blue cheese without, again, like having to excuse myself to the restroom. So olives are just, unfortunately for them, that vegetable that lives right there in that. For those who love fermented flavors,
that's a popular answer. Yeah, and I'll forgive you, even though I'm Italian. But I'd say the calamata of it is one of the worst
because it's Greek.
Because it's not Italian. Fuck off. No, Greeks are basically Italians, just like hairier. That's pretty much it. We don't really beef too much. I think like turnip, maybe not the cabbage. Yeah. But like,
you're a root vegetable disliker.
I mean, just give me squash, give me green beans, give me artichokes, give me anything else other than that.
Something that wasn't just dug up from the ground and still tastes like dirt.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Kalamatas can kick rocks. Kimchi can kick rocks. But other cabbage I like Brussels. Okay. I just wanted to get your take on. Because some people I really like. I hate this with a passion. What's the best Thanksgiving side?
Oh my gosh. For me, this year, it was the green bean casserole, because this year it had chicken in it, and I've never had it with chicken in it, and it was like shredded chicken, like mixed in it. So it was like a whole meal.
Gave some body to it.
It went to a whole nother level. So definitely a green bean casserole. And I also love the sweet sides. So like the sweet potato casserole with like the marshmallow on top and the nuts and whatever else, I don't know how to make it, but I will eat it all day long.
You like nuts, I like nuts. We have a lot in common. I do sweet potato with the marshmallows or the pecans after my main meal, before my dessert.
Yeah, a pre-dessert.
It's a segued food. It's like the first transition. It's a gateway food.
It's a gateway food. It's a transitional dessert-like item.
Yes. It's so good. Okay. All right. So let me ask you. You've experienced both of these things a lot. And every time I've gone to a gay bar, because where I used to actually go to gay bars, to like Blake's and stuff, I used to go there to pick up women.
Yeah, it's a great place to pick up women.
Fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
And they don't see you coming. No. And it was like, wow. Because it shows that you're open-minded. Mm-hmm. It's a fun place. Yeah. Everybody's dancing. You guys can outdance me. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. I can't do that. But which would you rather have to deal with a bachelorette party, at a drag show or a stand-up show? Because both can be problematic.
Yeah, no, and then you do it as a drag stand-up, and you're just really going.
Yeah, because you do both. Yeah.
Well, I do drag stand-up shows now, but no, I think that's very fair. I think it depends on where. I think it's a drag show, because I was going to say, I think it depends on where they want to get up and be part of it. Oh, so do you know what I mean? Okay. Like at a stand-up, you get like the drunk party goer who wants to like have a conversation with you, and you get that at the drag show too. But at the drag show, you see someone dancing to Lady Gaga, and you're like, oh, I know those moves. But at the Lady Gaga show, it's only once every few stops that someone tries to get up on stage.
Okay.
I feel like at a drag show, people love to cross the stage, love to like be in the spotlight.
Let me tell you, you do not cross that stage.
You don't cross that, even if there's not an actual stage.
Yeah, there's
a
runway. Stage. It's like imagine a mini football field, and you just stay on the sidelines.
You always walk
That's
behind
it.
someone, even if there's room to walk in front of them.
Yes.
You just let them get pushed onto the stage.
I know that, and I'm a straight guy.
Yes, exactly.
Because you don't go there. That's not your area.
You were a good gay bar. Like, you had your gay bar.
I'm an ally.
Attendee, like, handbook out. You're like, nope, we don't walk in front of the drag queen.
That's right.
Like,
you don't do it.
That's how you get high kicked in the face.
It's so bad. I saw there was quite a burly drag queen, and they just pummeled. They just like shoulder checked this girl and right into the crowd, and she disappeared. Like, I didn't see her after that. She was like, oh my God.
Yes.
I think probably played football in high school and then just like went to drag. It's like, oh my God, you got
early drag queens. I can only think of a couple: Donna Trump, Ron DeSantis.
Donna Trump.
These are not real people in Atlanta. But when you love it, if there was like beef between two drag queens named like Ron DeSantis and like Donna Trump.
Donna Trump.
Yeah, it would be like the faggot hats. You can't say that, but I can.
You can't. I know. Again, I know my. That's so good. You better write that down.
I said it in front of a drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. So Connor Lyons has his Wednesday monthly Guacky Margie show.
Yeah.
And he invited me to be on it as a replacement at like noon one Wednesday. Like he called me and was like, hey, could you sub in? And I was like, I don't know if I can get in drag that fast. So I did a drag, less drag than this, and this is probably about 60% of my like glam
60%.
drag. Well, I have to have the time, and so I had like an hour and a half to get ready, and I just did. I'm gonna go like my southern, like so I had blue jeans and boots and like a tie-dyed like hoodie and whatnot, and sure enough, I walk in there and sitting front row is like a winner of Drag Race.
Oh my God!
And who was filming a Marvel show here, and I just was like, well, that sucks. And that was like the one joke that I think she laughed at was the Donna Trump, because that's actually a drag queen in like London.
Is it?
Yeah, or in somewhere in Great
Britain.
Yeah. And my joke was just like the hat,
It's so good. Okay, because wow, that's because I can see people, especially drunk girls, especially drunk straight girls, wanting to just nose in, and let me tell you, you don't take the attention away from a drag queen.
Oh no,
you don't do that
because you probably didn't spend as much time getting into makeup as she did.
Right.
Or even a drag king. Like, I mean, that's the thing is like you see drag kings and people think, oh well, she has they'll misgender them and say she didn't have to do as much makeup today, and it's like, no, to transform your face from your everyday face to a different gender's face, or like the stereotypes of a different gender. It's a lot of work. Just let the person have their moment, then get the picture.
Then you dance.
Yeah, then you dance.
Then we'll dance with you.
Dance. I'm fine. I'll get down.
You just walk over people. Yeah. That's great. Who's meaner? And this will make me my last question.
Sure.
Who's meaner? Children or gay guys?
Depends on the sense of mean. I think children are more honest. So, and I think that like I have two teeth, that one that's a little too far forward and one that's way too far back. And so I definitely, was working as a cashier as a younger person, and had a kid be like, how did you lose your tooth? And I was like, a child asked me how I lost my tooth.
Oh,
it's just in the child. But I think sassy gay men have a bite to them. They cut deep, very deep.
Yeah.
And I am not like the strongest reader. I don't read people to filth. I usually am the one getting read, or left on read.
Left on read, that's right.
But that would be my sense, is that children are more honest, which can feel mean, but I don't know that they're always trying.
I had a kid ask me like, when are you gonna grow? That's when he asked me. It's like, I'm 5'5".
Yeah.
Like, I just had to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have a dog with a blue eye and a brown eye, and the kids will be like, what's wrong with her eye? And I'll be like, which one is the one that's wrong? like Like, do we know it? Like, is it the shiny blue eye on a dog, or is it the one that's brown that's like every other dog? I don't know.
God, that's so funny. Because I would hang around with like my gay friends Joey and there's two Chris's. And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, well that's why Trevor dumped you." I was like, "Oh my God, I would never say that to like my straight buddies." I'm like, "Dude, that's why your fucking wife left." I'm like, he'd be like, "Let's fight." I'm like, "Oh," but they do it just back and forth, cat, and then they go out and fucking have margaritas.
Yeah,
like,
no, I saw. We had a drag queen doing stand up and went for somebody like. For blood, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the roast portion." And I was like, "That wasn't a roast. That wasn't like like an attack." And then they weren't even trying to like say anything.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like that wasn't a roast. That was
wild.
just mean.
That's just mean.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up, and finally I'll ask this: plug anything you want to plug.
Yeah.
What do you have?
So for me, I'm going to do the Hideaway in December. So I think that's like the 13th, maybe.
Wow.
I'm going to do so tonight. So this is the Friday after Thanksgiving. We're doing Dynamic El Dorado. We're doing Break a Lash. We're going to do that again, I think the 15th of December or somewhere around there.
Okay, we'll tell people to go to that.
So that, and I'm probably butchering these dates. And then there's one more show. Oh, I'm doing Laughing Skull the 13th. So the 13th is Laughing Skull. The 19th then I think would be Hideaway.
And you'll post your dates on.
Yeah, and that's all on Instagram. Unfortunately, people who follow me know that I probably post like one or two too many times. And then we're trying to get a show. We just had a show on Tuesday at Mary's. That's Comedy Night at Mary's for the working title. Yeah. And it was successful. Like, it was successful.
That's
like,
awesome.
So we'll hopefully bring that back probably in the new year. I think everybody's going to have a pretty packed December.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good stuff. And then like I'm always open to bookies, you know.
Of course. Look, absolutely. You should. You should book Elle O Elle.
Yes.
Elle O Elle is a great comedian. I think I found out my drag name if I were to have one.
Yeah.
It'd be Sissy Leanne, because I'm Italian.
I like that, the Sicilian. I like Sissy as a name, and then Leanne. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect.
Do you have any questions for me as we wrap this up?
Yeah. Who would you say of all your either acquaintances in comedy or guests on your podcast, or even just comedian headliners that you've watched? Who would you say is the kindest comedian? Who's out there really going, you know, and trying to bring people along, you know, the ride?
There's a handful of comics that come to mind, both famous and not as famous and local. I would say Sean Patton. He gave me my first autograph. He even was taken aback, like, autograph? You mean, like, no, because I think selfies. Yeah. I'm not completely for narcissist, but I'm here for an autograph. Yeah. It means more to me, and it was great. It's
going to mean more, like, after you're gone, that autograph's going to mean more than a picture of you with someone else.
And then someone could ask me, like, whose autograph is, you know, and this is a story, and I just, it's for me. It's not for anybody else. So, Steve Byrne, Adam Ray, because they're all very... It's wild. They're wildly successful comedians that still talk to comics. They're like awesome. comics. Yeah. But Zach Hadlock, he films a show, It's Getting Late show at El Dorado.
Yes.
He's been my buddy since day one. I love him to death. You're very, very supportive. Yeah. You're very, very lovely. And you're very like, oh, I like this. And you engage, and you're just super open and welcoming. I think... there's just a handful of others. I mean, anybody who is willing to even give me a shot is a big deal.
Yeah.
Ian.
Ian Aber.
He's so sweet. Yes. And Catherine, she doesn't think she's nice, but she's like, I'm not nice. She goes, I'm not nice. I'm like, I think you are to me. Yeah. And you help me. And so she's really, I mean, pretty much nearly everybody. There's only a few guests that I've had. I'm like, but that's like one or two that you're bound to slip through. But there's only a few like mean, cliquey people that I don't really like, but it's not many. Yeah. You know, but they're there, but a lot of people. But yeah, you present company included.
Thank you. Atlanta's got a pretty kind comedy community in comparison to like not what I've heard of. Yeah, because we lived in New York for a little bit, and I just stayed clear. I mean, I did UCB and like, you know, and took classes there and like that. Like I like more of like the long form improv out there. And it's not that you can't find, like, because we know Nomi just went there, you know what I mean? Like there are kind people there. It's just, it's like very cutthroat business where I think people will literally, you know, want to trip you on your way down the stairs if it means that they can have one more booking. And I believe in that feeling of abundance, that belief that there's enough for everybody.
Yeah, give it out.
Yeah,
I've noticed that if you give to comedy, comedy gives back. Yeah. And then if you support comics, comics will support you. Whether it's by liking something, telling people to go to your show, booking you,
recommending you to someone who is booking.
Right. Like, hey, I can't make it, but try him. He's good. Or he's a short guy. If you need a short guy, if you need a tall drag queen,
for
you got
diversity purposes.
I'm the diversity
is there to be your short guy at any time. He'll be your diversity hire. Ian Aber got my name from Michael Manzak from Laughing Skull. And then Ian is the one who told me, like, you know, there's a lot of funny drag queens. You know, Brent stars at Laughing Skull quite a bit, and at Walkie Margie's too. But Ian was like, I don't know that there's really a drag queen stand-up, you know, so make it. That's what he said. Just go make it. Go host the show. Who cares?
That's what we're doing.
And
right
that's
now.
what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's literally. And it was just that advice. So it's like he's like, have 5 topics, you know, that you can like read, like you can get from one to the other, so you can read your crowd, and then go do what you're passionate about. But don't wait for someone else to do it.
I love
Just go find a venue that'll hire you to put on the show and put on the show.
And that's what we're doing.
Now we're doing it.
Making things happen.
Yeah.
You're performing tonight. Yeah. All kinds of stuff.
You're performing tonight.
I am performing tonight. Not in this awesome place. I'm performing in another awesome place, very far away, but it's okay.
No, North Georgia's still Georgia.
We're still doing it. Okay. Well, that's it. I'm so glad you did this.
It's my pleasure.
LOL, LOL.com, LOLcomedy.com.
It is LOL.net.
.net.
But you have to know, it's ELLE. OELLE.
Yes.
It's a palindrome. Spelled the same forwards and backwards.
It is a palindrome.
Yeah. Yeah, and the abbreviation LOL is a palindrome too. And the first name L is a palindrome, ELLE. So it's like a palindrome. I literally started comedy thinking I was going to do jokes about palindromes. And then I was like, that's not funny to anyone but you.
That's so specific.
It's so
neurotic and crazy.
When you tell someone what a palindrome is, they always get offended.
Yeah.
They always, even though if they didn't remember what it was, it's like trying to tell someone what an onomatopoeia is. They're like, I knew what it was. I learned that. I know that.
How dare you?
Exactly. So you're like, it's a palindrome. It's spelled the same forwards and back. I know what a palindrome is.
I named myself a palindrome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it.
Thank you.
Check LOL out. LOL on Instagram. And there we are. That's it. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Of course.
Big hugs. Wait, let's just really.
Oh, God.